Now we have Mr. Sanjiv Prasad from Reliance. Mr. Sanjiv, over to you if you can share some thoughts. Subject. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me an opportunity. Sorry, I am at a remote place, so video may get disconnected.
Absolutely okay, no
Okay, we'll
worries.
continue. Yes. So, my thoughts on digitization is like what I have been seeing. Digitization, yes, as all speakers have told, is good for any power plant whatsoever. But digitization is good to use only when you have got very good measurements. A while ago, Mr. Anup was talking of captive power plants. The captive power plants are like, say, they are, if you look at their boilers and all, they don't have enough number of instruments there. So, what will you monitor and what would you like to give out of that data? That becomes really difficult. So, if you don't measure, you cannot control something which you cannot measure. So that's a big problem as far as captive power industry is concerned. Wherever the captive power exists, the main business is not power generation. Wherever there are IPPs, the main business happens to be power generation. So instrumentation is good, there you are able to deliver results. Other places, instrumentation are not good. Now when you come up with a power plant, you find as many things which are left out in terms of design. Design does not cover up many things. So there is a measurement at one place and it is considered that it is good for almost a kilometer of a pipeline. You measure at one, you do not know how much of condensation is taking place in your header. If you talk of a utility, say in IPP, the headers may be small and headers may be limited. Here the header lengths may be in kilometers, whereby the losses may be too high and you never even realize. Even small things like your spray water valves passing in your PRDS. See, ideally there should not be any PRDS, but yes, there is a pressure reduction arrangement that is there in most of the process plants if you get into. And there, malfunctioning of these control valves which spray water, that goes undetected. That is something which is a typical problem that you may see at most of the places. So such data, if we are unable to collect, so that is something where we need to drive the entire thing to. Digitization needs to be driven in terms of you will be able to control better. You will be able to get good efficiencies. Most of, again, I'll get back to captive, whereby reporting itself is not that accurate. Measurements are not accurate. Measurements are primitive sort of. And based on that, if you try to control, we came across, I'm not talking of Ecubix, we came across some agency which came to us through the higher management telling that they had achieved some 3% efficiency improvement in some XYZ plant. On checking, those people did not have any data. Some fudged data was put up to start with, and again, perhaps to please the management, the other side had put it, okay, this is the improvement that we have achieved. So unless and until you have got good measurements, you will not be able to do it. Second one is, quite often when we talk of data management or when we talk of use of data for reliability improvement, we leave out a lot of data collection in terms of offline data that is available with the maintenance. It may not be from the measuring instruments, you may need to input them. Those data, although may be available, but they are not integrated with the system. Once integrated with the system, like your shutdown records, like your shutdown reports, like your images, once it is integrated, you will be in a better position to tell as to what is happening. Because without measuring also, if that data is available, yes, you can say. And plus, equally important will be the history that is there for the plant, whatever is the past history. If somebody puts up some 10 instruments today, it will not help him if the boiler is already deteriorated, if the turbine is already deteriorated, those new instruments will not be of as much of use. And the kind of maintenance practices that are adopted, they are also important enough. Out of the data, you find out that some turbine rotor needs refurbishment. But the management does not agree to a refurbishment. They tell you, okay, this refurbishment, tell us as to how much money will it make. So these are practical problems that exist, that needs to be encountered or that needs to be faced while you take up sort of data analytics for the purpose of improvement of efficiency and all. And every time you talk to somebody, again restricting myself to captive power plant, people are almost not interested in anything. If my plant is good to go till the time I am able to supply steam and power. My plant can afford 10 trips a year. Why are you worried? So that's the way people go. So 10 trips, if you tell them out of the 10 trips, there will be thermal shocks and your plant will get damaged. No worries. Let the plant go off in 15 years. We have not spent as much. By that time, the payback will be there. So that sort of a mentality needs a huge change so that we can get into a complete digitized world whereby power plant can be called digitized. And one aspect that was talked of a while ago was benchmarking. That is something unlike other industries, there is not enough benchmarking data available with which you can compare apple to apple. Because every plant that has been made specific in captive sector is more or less tailor-made, and nobody is ready to share the data that they have. So you can hardly compare that what is the position that you need to reach, what is the number that you want to achieve, unless and until you know the target, how will you achieve the target? So that is something which is very important. So my take is unless and until we encourage more data collection and improve data collection methods, data management or data analytics will not be of as much of help. It may be of some immediate help, but it will not be of a continued or a sustained help that was being talked of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjiv.